Time, 1 second.
The meeting on the core letter,
Must have played baseball at
the
one
internal
time.
meeting.
I'm glad the Vikings showed up for the second half. The fourth.
I
That's
fell
Chris.
asleep and I was shocked.
Let's call the meeting to order. We'll note the presence of a quorum with all commissioners present. I'd invite you to please stand. We'll begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag for all. Welcome guest, staff, visitors present with us here this morning. The first item, the approval of the agenda, commissioners.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion on the floor by Commissioner Sample, support.
Support.
Motion supported, Commissioner LaVisca, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried, agenda is hereby adopted. And now, I'd like to introduce to everybody our new administrator, Dave Menke. David, welcome.
Morning.
Tell us how glad you are to be here.
Give him a week.
That goes without saying. No, I am very glad to be here. I appreciate the work that everyone put into my first, which went, I think, very well. I'm excited to learn about Aitkin County and to just, help you guys achieve your vision. So,
Well, thank you. And a very warm welcome to you.
Yes.
With that being said, could you come up here and commissioners, we'll get a little pic. We have a little token of appreciation and a welcome present for you. Commissioners,
It's not our electric car.
Hop along.
Do you want these chairs out of?
oh,
the
I
way?
suppose, yeah. David, if you want to just come up front, commissioners line up. Jean, is
I'm short.
position good for you?
Brett, don't do that to me again.
Brad, don't do that.
Make sure I can see you guys, so
He should be over here so I can pinch him.
Brett, get on the other side of Mara. There,
Enough
that's
space.
better.
Well, David, I want to welcome you on behalf of the county board and the entire county of Aitkin, Aitkin County.
thank you. I'm very
And
glad to
that
be here.
being said, a little token of our appreciation, a can koozie for you,
Soda can.
soda can koozie.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, welcome again.
Oh, thanks. What did I do? There we go.
Oh, first item on the list would be consent agenda. Commissioners,
Make that motion.
motion, Commissioner,
Mr. Chair,
Point of order.
Oh, yeah, we forgot
citizens'
the
comment.
public comments.
oh, I'm sorry. Comments from the public this morning? Citizens' public comment? Last call for citizens' public comment. Hearing none, that portion will close. Now consent agenda.
I make that motion, please.
See, Commissioner Carney moves.
I'll second, but I have a question. I just have a,
Okay, supported by Commissioner Westerland.
yeah. So
go.
the, oh, shoot. The new, the deputy treasurer. I think I emailed Bobby last night and I thought, gosh, who is our deputy treasurer? Or I called you. That's okay. Darla, okay. And so what was the grade before?
Grade 5,
Okay, so you're just pushing it up a grade. Okay,
and now it matches the chief deputy report.
yep, got it. Thank you.
Further discussion on consent. Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion's carried. Consent agenda is hereby approved. On to facilities. Welcome, Jim.
Good morning.
Morning, Jim.
So this is just informational only. Just wanted to give an update on the HHS remodel, where we're at. With a lot of help from the HHS staff, Sarah and Paula, we were able to get everybody moved out of the existing HHS building into their temporary locations. We actually completed that a little bit ahead of schedule. It went very well, had a lot of help from the staff. Over the last week and a half, there's been a few minor things that we've had to add, change. We're getting them used to their areas and it's going well. And then, starting a week ago yesterday, we started getting everything ready for a garage sale that we're gonna have. Yesterday, when I greeted David, he's like, "Are you having a garage sale or are you selling a garage?" And I'm like, "This time we're having a garage sale." So it's, yeah, so actually, I just came up from the HHS building. There are 4 different nonprofits in there right now, taking a look at some desks, bookshelves, things like that. Today and tomorrow, nonprofits, governmental agencies in Aitkin County can come and take what they can use to benefit their organizations. And then Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, we open the garage sale to the public. Thursday, it is 8 to 6. And then Friday, we're doing 8 to 4 for the public. So we're gonna try and get everything that we can sold, and hopefully people can use desks, office chairs, file cabinets. We got a lot of it. So it will all be up for sale, and then starting next Monday morning, we will be clearing everything out, and construction workers will be moving in next Monday. And by the end of next week, there will be walls laying on the floor in there. So it's gonna get started quick here. So
Sounds good. Commissioner Sample?
You're gonna be around after the board? I have the list from RVFW over.
absolutely. Yep, we will be around all day today and tomorrow.
Where do I find you after the board meeting?
In the HHS building. I've got the front door open and the back door open. We're just on first floor. Yep,
All right, thank you, sir.
yep.
Jim, while you're here, the fairgrounds, another very active weekend.
We had a wedding this last weekend at the
Nice.
fairgrounds. So, yeah, it's we have stuff going up until the middle weekend of October this year, which is getting a little bit late because the buildings aren't heated. We have to get the water shut off, things like that. But and then already next year, I think we have like 10 weekends that are booked up already. So, yeah, it's great.
So nice to see the activity, and that brings commerce into the city of Aiken and Aiken County, so.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's something that we're working on. We're actually working on putting together a facilities meeting for the fairgrounds for the Ag Society to talk about there's just improvements we need to do and just keep up on the grounds. And so, yeah, it's good to see it used.
Good job. Our thanks to the Ag Society as well.
All right.
Mr. Chair. So I have, so do we have like a venue price for the fairgrounds, like weddings or graduations or whatever, so much?
Yeah, per building, or if you rent the whole grounds. But like if you rent, like this year, the price was $300 if you rented the food building.
Okay.
And that gave you the food building, one of the kitchens, and then the set of bathrooms that's right next to it.
Sure.
So, yep, but we've got, it kind of goes by building and, or if you rent the whole grounds, like the bike tour that came through a couple weekends ago, they rented the whole grounds. That way to make sure that we don't have anything else going on
Yeah.
down there. But we've had times where we've had 2 graduations at the same time. They've rented out 2 separate buildings and,
Yep.
yeah, so.
It's good to see. Commissioner Sample?
Do we have that price list on our website? Or how do people know? Do they gotta try to
They call
chase
Kathy.
you down?
They call Kirk.
Kirk? Oh, Kirk's.
Kirk has got it, and then that's part of what we've been doing. Our I believe the prices are on the Ag Society website. They are not currently on the county website, but that is some of what this meeting is about. Is we're trying to get that stuff out, published.
Absolutely.
We want to make a banner to put by the front gate, who to contact, how to get a hold of people, because it's, more and more people are finding out about it and they're wanting to rent it, and we want to get that information out there. So it's, call it growing pains, because it wasn't that many years ago where they went down 6 days before the fair with a brush hog and mowed the grass down and got ready for the fair to come in, and that was the only event that was down there.
Yeah.
And now we're up to, I think this year we had about 3 or 4 weekends since the middle of May that weren't rented. So,
Do they need to be an Aitkin County citizen, or do you charge more for outside?
no,
Be like the DNR, do that.
yeah,
You know,
no,
out of state or out of county.
yeah, nope. And we, and then of course we have, Soil and Water. They just had an appreciation day for the people that, sit at the accesses and check for invasive species. They just had last week, I think they had a Tuesday, they used the food building and had an appreciation event down there. So it gets used, quite a bit. In the past, we have had, the school has used the fairgrounds for doing an ag day down there where other ag programs from around the state come in and they'll have a few cows, they bring in some horses, things like that. So yeah, it gets used a lot, and that's a good thing.
I get that, and just, Mark, just be calm now, naturally better. Can we have that on the
banner, yeah.
on the website that shows the prices, so that way people can look at that, please?
Yep, we can, Mark does not know this yet, but he is gonna get questioned and asked and drug into this meeting. But I like to surprise him every now and then, keeps him on his toes.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the grounds look excellent, whoever is mowing and weed whipping.
Bob Jackson is our maintenance guy down there, and he takes a ton of pride in the fairgrounds, making sure these events go off without a hitch. At fair time, he pulls his camper in and he just camps there for the whole fair, so he's there to take care of issues. Make sure that the grounds look good. He does a fantastic job.
And this wedding it looked like a presidential inauguration. I mean, the tent was like an auditorium, and there were 300 uniform chairs set up. I don't know if it was 300, but there were a lot.
Well,
Yeah, and I
that's
saw,
good for the rental center.
Yeah, and they had fireworks, I think, at dusk.
That's
and-
where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No, it sounded like it was quite an event.
Wow, nice.
Must've been the relatives of Mark if they had all
Yeah.
that stuff there.
Exactly.
Did you have a rock band there too, buddy?
Wasn't me.
Oh,
Was not
okay.
me.
Jim, thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
On to County Auditor Kathleen Ryan. Welcome, Kathleen.
Oh, good morning.
A lot of stuff here, Kathleen.
No.
I promise not to fall asleep today.
I might get a complex if I have, no,
I
I'm
know.
just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna start with 4A, which is the minerals management. I was notified by the DNR 2 weeks ago that they had a calculation error in their payment to us for which it's under statute 93.22. It's our mineral lease revenue that we receive, and they overpaid us $114,000. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. We did get the payment from the state. In the meantime, I did allocate it. This payment goes to Clark, Hogan, and Salo, and then School District 4. This is a payment that fluctuates yearly based on the usage of the land and what leases are paid. So it actually was okay because it kind of balanced out with some previous years we had. So it wasn't as huge of a hit as I originally thought it was going to be. Unfortunately, it is too bad because the school district and the townships didn't receive as much funds as, they could have. Overall, though, like I say, it kind of fluctuates each year, so it kind of matched. Actually, I did make notes, in 2023, Concon, we received $797,000. In 2024, we received $622,000. This mineral lease revenue, in 2023, we received $55,000, but in 2024, we received $80,000. So it just kind of fluctuates like that. But I just wanted you guys to be aware of that.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yep, Commissioner?
how do they determine the value? I mean, my question is, the one bore sample that they took over in Hogan Township was worth $18 million. In fact, part of that core sample is in the Smithsonian now for the richest, purest find in the world. And the DNR had it down at their, part of that core sample down at the state fair. So I'm just kind of curious.
And this revenue is not pertaining to that, and I should actually clarify that too. This comes
lease.
from an account, so this money that they overpaid us comes from an account where they hold it, and I'm still learning, so I don't have all the knowledge,
No, I
but
get
they
it.
hold it, they earn interest. When this account gets to $3 million, then they allocate it out to the other counties, townships, school districts to be allocated. So what happened is there's, per statute, so much of this money is to go to the school trust fund directly. And they had an error in their spreadsheet, so they allocated more money to us and not enough money to the school trust fund. So then they had to correct that formula in their spreadsheet and take the money back from us. So the money that, the $114,000 is gonna be allocated to the school trust fund. So, yeah, that's what I know. I think it's more, it's more interest on money that they have holding in their account versus like the mining piece of it.
Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Oh, sorry. So does that money go directly to the school trust fund, or does it go to the state first, or the DNR, and then they put it in?
It's DNR money that then the DNR pays to the school trust
So
fund.
we write a check or whatever to,
Not us, the DNR directly. So when they're allocating the money,
Okay.
like they give the chunk to the school trust
Yep.
fund, then they give us our chunk.
okay.
Then we allocate our county portion, our township portion, and our school portion.
Yep, but because we owe them money now.
They just took it off the top. So
Okay.
instead of getting, we were supposed to get
Yep.
$160-some thousand dollars, we
116,
got 51,000.
Okay,
So they adjusted our payment to us this year, so we're not having to repay anything. We just did not receive as much money as we
Yeah,
could
it's
have.
coming and
does it
going.
matter on the lease, though? I mean, are all the leases the same for these people that lease this ground?
It's all based on the type of property it is.
Okay.
What is, if it's mineral lease, peat lease, there's,
Depends upon the
calculations,
lease.
formulas, yeah.
Okay,
And
Bunch of
Commissioner
bureaucratic
LaVisca?
I'm good. I had the question answered there.
Okay.
Yep.
Commissioner Sample?
Just a bunch of bureaucratic BS.
That costs
Put
more
it
than,
simple.
there's too many cooks in the kitchen again, as usual. Well, there is.
Let me call it what it is.
And it is I don't know, I have a big spreadsheet
Very
that I'm still working
complicated.
through and kind of wrapping my head around like all this, how it goes.
It's
but-
worse than fiscal disparity, I think. Because I was digging into it too, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's hard.
fiscal inequity.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Thanks for that update,
Send your money up
Kathleen.
north.
If you guys have any other questions, let me know and I can
Okay.
get more into it too, but. The second one, okay, so the second one is another, a little bit confusing issue, is the taconite homestead credit, which in Aitkin is actually the supplemental taconite homestead credit. And legislation passed, and we were like, whoo-hoo, they increased the credit to $515. In Aitkin, we always had a credit of $289.80. So we were pretty excited about that, and come to find out, I got an email, it's probably been 3 weeks ago now, from Department of Revenue that said that, we gave the credit at $515 and we should not have, because we're under supplemental taconite credit, and that statute did not change. the taconite credit statute changed. Makes me feel better because Crow Wing, Itasca, St. Louis,
all got it.
we have two different programmers, so our software programmers for our tax calculation, both programmers misunderstood it. Mark helped me put together, correspondence to our senators and representatives asking, did you guys intend to like update both or just the one? And we haven't really gotten a response yet.
They're not back yet.
Are they working yet?
No.
I don't know. Yeah. So it's a matter of about $670,000 for us.
That's a
I'm
lot.
thankful that we have a healthy fund balance, and this is one of the reasons why I think we carry a fund balance. I would hate to go back to our taxpayers and
Tell them no.
charge them. Although they are going to see
Aware.
that now in 2026 because the programming is being redone for 2026. So the credit will be reduced back down to the 289.80 unless something changes in between now and then.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Sample?
I need to have lunch with you and get educated on this because,
You're asking her husband.
because on the
You're buying.
20th, I have confirmed 15 state representatives, senators and reps to come to an event for a nonprofit that I'm involved in. And I would love to be educated in that, to sit down and ask them what the intent of that was.
Yeah, sure. That would be great.
Isn't the
Direct a voice to them.
Rabbit Lake Schoolhouse, isn't that why we have taconite?
No, it's the Rabbit Lake Township
Or Rabbit
in
Lake
Crow Wing
Township, I
County
mean. In Crow Wing County, but yet
Yes.
Aitkin,
was annexed into the Aitkin
Right.
School District, which qualified the entire Aitkin School District
one
for
little baby township.
taconite credits.
So what percentage
Considered-
of the county gets the taxonite credit?
Well, School District 1 is our largest school district in the county. I don't know if I have a percentage per se, but
Maybe about 3/5.
maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
I could look at that. I'm not sure. It's a large percentage.
Well, you just compare to commissioner districts. And I think every commissioner district is part of ISD number one. You have Morrison County, correct?
No.
Fleming?
I do.
They're different.
I have Morrison and Fleming.
Okay. Redistricting. And all of yours,
All of mine.
good portion of yours.
Well, I have Isle,
Most of it.
too,
I
or we
also-
have Isle
Yeah.
School too.
But
I have
you
actually
still have part of Aiken,
What?
ISD one.
5 school districts in District 3.
But no Hill City.
Yeah.
No McGregor.
No Hill City, no McGregor, but that'll change.
That will change.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, so as I learn more, we're working, us, our counties involved with this are communicating.
Good.
And trying, like, how are you doing it and what are you doing? And I spoke with Nancy from St. Louis. St. Louis isn't as affected as highly just because they only have a couple townships that pertain to them for this taconite access area versus recovery area. But Itasca got hit hard. They're over $2 million.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure on Crow Wing, but we're all trying to speak and talk to the representatives and the senators and kind of be on the same page and figure out what's going on. But yeah,
Awesome.
let me know if you have questions, or I'll try to keep you updated if I learn more and as we go.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Okay. Budget, right? Preliminary budget. Okay. So, met with the budget committee, and presented preliminary budget numbers. When I presented the general fund to you, I told you we were gonna look at a 14%.
Right.
That was before I went through and made some adjustments and kind of, put some things in. Just so you know, what is on the worksheet right now is a 5.3%. But what that involves is, I adjusted out holiday pay for the sheriff's department. I figured out it was kind of double dipping because their holiday pay was already coded into their overtime, so that was removed. They had some unemployment compensation budgeted, but unemployment hasn't been used for multiple years, so we adjusted that out. Added in con revenue. Increased our payroll, or Carly increased her payroll contingency with Health and Human Services, an additional $60,000. Health and Human Services, I, spoke with them and we reduced their out-of-home placement, in a couple areas by about 62,000 also. This, again, you know, these reductions, we're taking a chance, we're kind of looking at what it has been and hoping, that it, out-of-home placement kind of reduces again, knowing that if it doesn't go down, it's going to be coming out of fund balance. They also decreased their capital because with all the activity that they have going on with the project, they really didn't need as much budgeted in capital. I added a larger payroll contingency in the general fund. I added 450,000. Looking back on the past 5 years in payroll, trends and taking into consideration all aspects of payroll, not just the salary pieces, but the health insurance, the para, the FICA, everything that goes along with payroll. That number came out to about 450, so that's what I added for the general fund. And that accounts for if we have open positions, fluctuates through the year, you know, if we're replacing a position and stuff. That's what,
Does that include the paid leave thing too?
no, that's budgeted in
Okay.
there. We
Oh,
have our,
that is, okay,
we have that paid family medical leave budgeted in the budget.
okay.
It does account for that in the fact that if there's an open position, you know, that's kind of
Where
a
you-
calculation, and an open position is a piece that we wouldn't be paying.
Yep, so do you have a number specifically on that? How much that is costing the employee and the? and
I
the
do
company?
not, I do not.
Okay, that'd be interesting at some point to know.
Yeah, I
mean,
can,
how
I can
much
find
a
it,
mandate, it's a mandate, another mandate, so,
and we have a line item for it, so I can find it real easily,
Okay.
and I can get that number to you.
yeah, that'd be great.
That's an unfunded mandate.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it
an
is.
unfunded mandate.
Abandoned mandate.
Well, the employee pays
You're
part
gonna
of it
fund it.
too.
Yeah, so we're budgeted 50/50.
Yep,
So it's 0.44%. We're budgeted 0.22%, you know, for the
And so-
employer.
if an employee has disability insurance though, through the county, cause they can get that, can't they?
We have,
some
they
kind of
can pay extra for short-term, I believe.
Oh,
and
not
then we have
long-term.
long-term
And you-
disability.
Okay, so does that exclude them having to put into, see now, then I wouldn't be
No,
paying
that's still
for,
the same thing.
I wouldn't be paying for long-term, I would ixnay on that.
Yeah,
I mean, if I could get it, but I can't, so.
And that might be something that comes in the future, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, that the employee needs to know that, you know, you have this, but you're already paying into this also.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing two things? You might as well just get rid of the one.
Yeah.
We talked about that at the DAC, because they have that plan too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of cost to the employee.
yeah. And they cover the same thing, and I think that's part of,
They
you know,
do.
kind of fleshing out how this is all gonna
How it's
work
gonna
out
pan out.
together, yeah.
It's crazy.
Mr. Chair, I got one
Yes,
question.
Commissioner Sample?
How much do we have in reserve funds?
I brought that with me because I figured you'd ask.
It's all about the money.
So, in fund balance, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, so in general fund, and this is part of the budget discussion too, when we're looking at that, there's a, you know, calculation. We got our 2024 audit, which will be presented on the 23rd. We look at our fund balance, but then we take out all of our restricted funds. I also adjusted because we are holding $2 million for the Health and Human Services project out of the general fund.
that's for that matching grant from the state, right?
Correct, the state
Yes.
bond.
Thank you.
So we always go with, auditor recommendation is, we have a 40% to hold 40% or to hold 50%. We are budgeted in 2025 to spend about $921,000 of fund balance. If we, so, just on 2024 fund balance, at the 40%, holding 40%, that would be $7.8 million. Holding 50% would be $9.7 million. We, at the 50% rate, the general fund, I'm gonna say if we use our planned use of fund balance spending, the 50%, we would be over 212,000. If we use the 40% level, we'd be over $2.1 million still. And that's if we spend that 921,000.
Right, okay.
Road and Bridge, their 40% level is 3.1 million. Their 50% level is 3.7 million. They are actually under, so, they're under at the 50% level, 836,000, and they're under at the 40% level at 184,000.
Wow.
Health and Human Services, they have their $2 million pulled out and committed for their project, for their part of the matching. At the 50% level, they would be at 321,000 over. And at the 40% level, they're still 1.1 million over. And that's per our fund balance policy of where we need to be, so.
Right.
We're still doing pretty well with fund balance.
Good.
So Kathleen, oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
Go ahead.
Are we were gonna try to not use fund balance for things. What are we using that 900 and,
So that was budgeted for the roofs.
okay,
Majority of it was for all the roof replacement capital project. We had, some budgeted for the sheriff's department. If you remember at the end of 2024, the sheriff wanted to purchase some capital items and it was like year end.
Yep.
So that was budgeted in as fund balance.
That came out of fund
usage.
balance.
Yep. So those are the projects. They were those big capital
Okay.
purchase things.
okay, that's good to know. It all adds up, I guess.
Yeah, the roofs are the largest piece of
Yep.
it.
Was that at HHS? No,
HHS,
all of them?
Judicial Center, Land Department.
Okay, awesome.
Commissioner Carney,
No, I'm good, thank you.
what, I know this is more of a treasure thing. Our entire investment portfolio is what, 30-some?
Yeah, I think the last time I did the cash balance was 35
5, 6.
million.
Wow,
And I just bring that up because we're drawing interest
yeah, a lot.
on those funds.
Sure.
And I think we're 4+%, if I remember correctly.
We've
we can get
been
Lori in
doing
here
better in
sometime.
interest the last couple years.
Yeah, amazing on secure investments, which by statute they have to be. So I just think it's something to bear in mind that is producing revenue.
So those are some of the changes. There were a few other changes that I did through the budget. But it brought down, and then with Health and Human Service changes, Road and Bridge came in at a 0% increase for
Right.
levy. That brings us to the 5.3% increase. Now I did make note, there's couple other things that can be considered. The payroll contingency is already in there. We could add in an additional $100,000 for interest income, just kind of based on where it's going now. I made a note that if we added that $100,000 in, that would bring the levy increase down to 4.75%. Another item that could be adjusted is the request from CARE for the CARE appropriation, which we'll look at next. Depending on how that's adjusted, I just used the amount that was the increase from last year, which is about 20,000. If that's removed, it would bring it down to 5.19%. If you add the interest increase in and you remove the CARE, that 20,000, if it was a 20,000 amount, that would bring the levy increase down to 4.63%. Just to give you guys some ideas for thoughts. So I don't know if you wanna just mull on that a little bit as we talk about the next two items that are on the agenda.
And commissioners, just bear in mind, this is preliminary. There'll be time for fine tuning of the line items as we go on. Commissioners, 5.3 is quite commendable. Looking at what other counties are looking at. You know, 6 into the teens. I think we're doing good. At this point, I'd just like to yield Commissioner LaVisca, who also sits on the Budget Committee, if you have any preliminary comments.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the discussion we had was based on, do we wanna use fund balance? What are we using for contingencies, things like that? And we had stuck with what we kinda done last year, which is plan fund balance for capital type stuff rather than operations. And then I think adding some of these extra contingencies, we're budgeting tight with the acknowledgement that should we be over, we do have some backup there. So I think keeping things tighter is the way we wanna look at doing it this year.
Thank you. And many thanks, Kathleen, to you, the department heads and staff for whittling this down into a low ball but realistic and a safe number.
Yeah, I feel very comfortable with it, even with the adjustments we've made. I mean, you're taking a chance with some of those, but I think we're in a good position that we can cover those if we need to.
Exactly.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
So
Commissioner
I was just
Westerling?
at a meeting in, for the N Club, or the, not N Club, Northern Counties Coalition. St. Louis is at 12.4% right now. Pennington is having a hiring freeze. 6 are under, they're hoping for. Marshall County is 5%, Kitson County is 5%. Itasca was not there, so I'm sure they're busy working. Carlton was 5 to 7%, they haven't quite pinned it down yet. Pine County is at 0, I wonder who that administrator was. 4%, 0 to 4%, I should say. I like Roger, he's a good guy. Lake County is 5.7, Cass County is 12.9. They're trying to get down to 11.9. Cook County was 9.9, and Roseau County is 10 to 15%. So we are not alone,
No.
and people are trying to understand that next year it's gonna be worse. So if we don't keep ahead of the game here, I mean, people are gonna have to pay now or more later, because it's gonna be more later.
And I think that's the nervousness from Sarah, especially
Absolutely.
HHS's side, is the future items that are coming in on the HHS world.
We can't cut our throats now, because a low levy is not gonna help anybody at this point, in my mind.
You're right, Lori.
It's sad, but that is the positions that we're in. I mean, we have to start paying for services, or they're gonna have to drop off. That's just how it works. And there's a lot of services that people rely on, so, anyway.
Commissioner Carney?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think at the legislative conference, this is gonna be a major topic of discussion over this next week. That, how are we gonna forge forward?
General government and HHS are gonna be interesting this
They
week.
are, yeah. So put your seatbelt on.
And put your chairs in the upright position.
Get your arm ready for the toss game.
I know, I told with all my moving, I'm ready.
She's gonna have to be like 10 feet back, I told her.
Thank you. Kathleen, on to appropriations.
On to appropriations. So the appropriation table was included. Most requests came in at or just slightly above where they were last year. Association AMC, that's a membership that we really don't have much of a choice.
Like
they
insurance.
bill us our
right.
membership.
Well, we do, but they're a great
That's right.
entity that we're a
yeah.
part of. I mean,
Yep.
them and NACO and whatever.
McGregor Airport was a 10%, but I believe that was, discussed previously by the board and you guys had have known or knew that that was coming in higher.
And everything that's going on with Talon Mining,
Right. It's gonna be money in the.
yes.
The insurances, again, we pay the insurance for the Historical Society and the Ag Society. That was budgeted at 10%, just kind of following our, information that we received from MCIT on their increases. So the largest one is CARE. They requested a 37.8% increase. Last year was 55,000. This year they're requesting 75,800. That is why I just noted that on an option, depending on how you guys want to approve appropriations would affect the levy increase.
Any comments on this particular one?
I thought last year when we increased it to
55.
55,
Right.
that was a one-time shot in the arm.
I believe it was.
I don't know, I tried to find the minutes, but it's not in there, which is,
Commissioner LaVisca, do you recall?
I know that we had discussed that it was a substantial increase last year, and the discussion was that, you know, it had been the same for, you know, a set, you know, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4 years prior. But it was substantial, and it's our biggest appropriation. I can't do $20,000 more this year.
Well, look at Angels.
And if I recall correctly, last year, the request was the same as it is this year. It was around that 75,000. There was discussion and subsequent compromise
yeah.
to increasing it up to 55,000 with stipulation that it was a one-time shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I don't remember the one-time shot.
as I'm looking at what we're looking at coming in this year and some of the budgeting we're trying to do across the board, you know, the McGregor Airport, that is a very small increase, and we've got Talon coming up in there. So that I can see, but again, looking at our biggest allocation as it already sits, adding another 20,000, I can't justify that.
I would rather see that $20,000 go to Sentence to Serve that do a lot of projects for the taxpayer because they got a lot of their funding cut.
Well, right now, we're just concentrating on
Right.
Aitkin County Care. Can I ask Kathleen, what number did you use for the preliminary?
The 75,000.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so if you reduced it, decided to reduce it, say to the 55, that would bring the preliminary levy increase down to 5.19%.
And again, in the long run, in the big picture, once this board is faced with the final levy, this provides a little wiggle room in there, along with other items.
Well, I don't know if, how Sarah feels about this, but I do know that we would save Health and Human Services at least that much money. In transportation, in services, we work together closely with Health and Human Services. It's for the disabled, the vets, and our senior population, which we know is huge. This is just one service that we're trying to provide. We got a huge grant to buy 3 vehicles. You know, there was no matching money. And to our craziness, there was a lot of stuff involved in this. We got through it. They're ready to go. You have information here on prices, put something up in a good area. But I think that this is really, really gonna come to fruition really fast. It's really gonna grow. I don't know. Would you agree it would save probably that or not? I mean, that's the question.
Yeah, come on up, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. To be honest, it's an awkward conversation
It's very
for
awkward, but we
me
need
and-
to have
yeah,
it.
Yes. I don't disagree that CARE is a excellent service. I don't disagree that we need this type of transportation provider in our county. I do disagree that it will save us money. because it will not save us money directly, no. I do not agree with that statement.
Okay.
Because CARE is going to become a waiver provider, which means they're generating revenue from federal and state dollars.
Right.
They're also going to become a health plan provider, which means they're generating revenue from the health plan. So does that directly save my budget? It does not. Is it a benefit to the community? 100%. But it does not directly save me money, no. Does that make sense? I mean, it's hard to explain.
It does, because you guys have a different company that does your rides.
Right, we have MTM.
MTM, yeah.
They're a medical transportation provider, and we do pay the admin costs.
We're not medical.
Right, you're not medical.
We do wheelchairs, but we're not medical.
Yeah, your special transportation.
Right.
Yes, and private pay and waiver.
Yep.
So we do contract for medical transportation where we pay for the admin costs,
Right.
but that's paid, the ride itself is paid through medical assistance. So it's really complicated, and like I said, I don't want the community to think that I don't think CARE is a good provider. They're a
Right.
huge community partner.
That's not what we're.
Yeah, it just comes down to, no, it does not save me money.
Commissioner LaVisca, you have the floor.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Sarah. I was prepared to throw myself under the bus, because I did bring it up with Sarah, and I had the awkward conversation with Sarah regarding, is it saving the county money? And it just doesn't when the numbers work out. It doesn't directly save us money in health and human services. Is it a great service? I agree with everything Sarah said. Great service. It doesn't directly save the county money. on
And
the
so
budget.
if we don't help them, when they need help to get good drivers, well, they have a lot of good drivers, employees, I mean, everything is about trying to keep people working.
Yeah, and what
And
Amy's
keep
trying to do,
services.
what she's trying to do is fantastic, and the commercial insurance is through,
Absolutely.
it is through the roof.
No, that's fine.
The one thing with, the medical transportation, yeah, we don't always have local providers doing the ride, but they don't ask for, if someone's not in the vehicle, they don't ask to be paid for that, where CARE is asking for it to be paid on if they're not in the car or in the car.
Right.
So it depends on how you look at some of those things as well.
Right.
Commissioner.
If
Oh,
I, just
I'm
one,
sorry.
one addition before,
Yes,
is that all right?
go ahead, Commissioner.
If, let's be completely honest, let me play the full devil's advocate here, is that in health and human services, we have mandated services by statute that we have to provide and we have to fund. CARE is a nonprofit. We don't have any obligation to fund their
Right.
programming. We're doing this as an allocation. If we wanted to as a board, we could make that number zero, let's be honest, but we're not doing that. It's just, another $20,000 is really difficult this year.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Carney.
All right, I'm gonna take you down a path, please follow me. CARE not only provides just transportation, we're talking about transportation right now, but I wanna move this to what CARE actually provides. CARE, for my understanding, and Lori, correct me if I'm wrong, CARE's main program is to keep the elderly in the homes as long as possible. Is that not a true statement?
That's true.
Keeping people in their homes longer is a cost-saving benefit to the county. Is that a true statement?
I would say it's directly, probably not. I mean, because but for like local tax paying dollars,
Right.
not as much of an impact, because a lot of those
But
types
does
of
it impact
facilities.
your budget when an individual leaves their home, goes into a nursing home, and there's cost shares and stuff like that? Does that impact you at all?
There is a cost share for someone going into the nursing home, yes. However, nursing homes are covered by medical assistance, which is not, paid through local tax-paying dollars. So when you look at a direct benefit, it gets a little bit more complicated. I don't know if you want to help me with this a little bit, Kathleen, or?
Yeah, I would say, like Sarah's saying, for somebody to stay in their home long-term, it is a benefit to the community, but not necessarily a benefit to local property taxes.
Of
Because
fiscal.
it doesn't come from the HHS budget. So
Okay.
as we're looking at that benefit for the Aitkin County budget, you don't see a direct impact because it's federal and state dollars paying for those
Yeah.
It's
placements.
taxpayer dollars.
Okay, I
that are
understand
paying.
that dollar-wise,
State
but
and
does it
federal,
take
yeah.
any of,
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Commissioner
Still-
Carney has the floor.
does it take any of your time dealing with these people when they go into those? Do you do any services for them? So it takes your hourly wage time, and it does take time.
Yeah, I would say, when you have somebody in their home, they have a waiver and we're case managing that, that might be a little bit more intense than if someone's going into a nursing home, but that's better for that individual. It gets complicated because you've heard me say,
Yes.
we want preventative services, but when you're talking about like out-of-home placement that does directly impact local
Right.
tax-paying dollars,
Right.
that's a little different when you're talking about this.
Okay, all right, thank you for the clarification,
Yeah.
and thank you.
So care
Commissioner
goes
Sample.
away. Oops, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Care
I'll
goes
yield to you.
away. I mean, what's next?
Okay.
That's what I'm afraid.
But here's my question. We have Angels. I've been on this board. Angels have requested $0. And we can say CARE covers more area. But what CARE does in these areas is important. Just as important as the Angels are to the McGregor, Tamarack, Lawler, in my district, and part of your district, Commissioner Kearney. But they go out and they get their funds and grants and they struggle. I believe in what CARE's doing. I believe in that mission with all my heart. But Angels is doing the same thing, and we want to say CARE's the big dog on the block. The hell with the little dog on the block, pardon my language. But this, to me, is CARE has got to step up to the plate, just like the Angels are. And that's all I got to say, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, can I clarify something?
Absolutely.
So when you look at what we're talking about at a federal level, at a state level, yes, CARE saves money. But when you're talking directly at a local level, that's a little more complicated to put in dollar amount.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
understand.
But it is, again,
taxpayer
extremely
dollars.
beneficial, and it's taxpayer
All
dollars.
taxpayer dollars, no matter how you look at it.
Yes.
But again, the clarification is we're looking at our local tax.
Levy.
Right.
Thank you for the perspective.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I just have one more comment. So Brett, that is the reason we have been trying to work with Angels since 2009. We've had many conversations with them. We've had little get-togethers with, it was a Carleton County entity that we worked with to try to get, and it was very,
I'm as
it's turf.
frustrated as you are.
I know, it's
with
like
it.
turf. It's like, oh, we don't, but CARE is in McGregor. They're doing their chai tea, they're doing all the exercise program, they do food boxes, they just do many things in all the communities. I mean, they're down in Malmo, they're down in McGrath, they're all over. But
And
if we don't help them, just like if Angels needed help, why don't they come to the board? Most of the time, it's because they don't have a budget that they can present. That's the only issue we had.
I would like to remind the board
It's
that
about CARE.
focus the attention on CARE.
Well, it's
Yes.
very
That
important
is
to
the
me.
subject matter at hand on a fiscal
But we've
standpoint.
tried to work. We continue to reach out. We do. We really do.
And back to the origin of CARE, it was a consolidation of several other committees of the aging who were duplicating, triplicating, quadrupling
Services.
administrative services, et cetera, et cetera. And CARE means combining area resources efficiently. Nonprofit. The goal was actually that it becomes self-sustaining.
2%.
But back to the matter at hand, this is only discussion of the preliminary budget. We can have further discussions come December.
I think so.
Correct. This is one item that does not have to be set
No.
until the December final budget.
Exactly.
Just for information today, so you guys have an idea of,
So let's kick it
want to
around.
think about it.
Yeah.
It is something to have in mind when we set the preliminary.
Sure.
I am looking for direction today when we get done with this, what you want me to bring back on the 23rd for our preliminary percentage. So that is why
Thank you,
I'm
Sarah.
presenting this information.
Thanks, Sarah.
Currently, it's at 55 in the preliminary, or 75.
75.
75.
75.8, yep.
So again, to reiterate, there's wiggle room.
Absolutely.
Anything else in appropriations? On to commissioner salaries. Direction requested.
Thank you.
So commissioner salaries, requesting you to think about this also, again, before we set the preliminary levy, because this would affect, that. I just kind of did some calculations quickly, just to give you guys an idea of what changes would be. Currently, the commissioners are budgeted at a 6% increase, which follows the, increases for all other staff within, the 2026 budget. If you reduce that to a 3% increase, it would adjust the levy increase by a 0.03%. If you adjusted it to a 1%, it would adjust it by a 0.06%. So just to kind of give you an idea of what those adjustments would do.
Sounded like,
Commissioner Westerland?
Do we know what our health care is going to start costing for a family?
We budgeted, well,
We don't have a price yet, do we?
we did a 5% increase off of 2025 rates, and that is what is in the budget. We're kind of nervous, Bobby is kind of nervous that will be higher just based on usage and
Right.
where we're currently at. The last couple years, if you remember right, our increases have been,
They weren't.
yeah, they've been very low. So right now it's in at 5%, it could be higher, not sure.
Commissioner LaVisca, did you? Direction requested. I think, just looking historically, we've kind of tried to come in at a comparative with other counties and a reasonable preliminary. I'm just one of five here, but, I think a 3% would be a reasonable preliminary budgeted.
I'm at a 0, Mr. Chair.
I'm good with bringing a 3 for a preliminary.
Microphone,
I'm good with bringing 3 for preliminary, not 6.
Commissioner Westerland,
Yep, I'll do 3.
Commissioner
Not six.
Carden.
Well, I never vote for an increase, but it looks like the majority has it.
That to reduce that budgeted amount down to 3%.
Okay, so that would bring, so back to the preliminary budget recommendation, for next meeting. If we do a 3%, for commissioner wages and then, leave interest, do you wanna add the $100,000 in for interest in that preliminary number or leave it out for now?
Expand on that,
We could add an additional $100,000 for interest revenue into the
interest
budget.
income.
How,
I would err on the side of caution.
I was gonna, how comfortable or how confident would you be in that addition?
So I'm okay with it, and I talked to Lori Grams, and she was okay with it also.
To increase it by how much?
100,000,
Again, this is preliminary. We can always come back in
and we can
December.
leave it out for now and have that in for final setting too.
My skepticism
I guess I
for
don't
any
understand.
reduction,
I don't understand that either.
Where
okay,
did the 100,000 come
what,
from?
what are we currently budgeting for interest income? You're looking to,
$100,000 less. So the 100,000 is coming from the
okay, are we
last,
on the same page? The money that the county treasurer has invested is drawing interest.
Right.
That is
Correct.
the subject matter.
Okay.
correct, yes. So currently, in the budget, Lori put in a number that's $100,000 less. But looking at the last couple years, it could be increased $100,000 if it carries forwards in the same pattern that has been for the last couple years. She was being, and Aitkin's always been more conservative, you know, to be safe. But we could increase it $100,000, and both Lori and I are still comfortable with that based on the pattern that we've had over the last couple years on the interest earned. Does that make sense?
Yes. Commissioners, Are we all clear?
Good with, yeah.
I'm good, I understand. I was thought to do something to do with salaries, I'm like, sure,
No.
I'll take $100,000 a year, what the heck?
My personal concern with this is what the
Is it-
Federal Reserve is going to do. And if they cut interest rates on a macroeconomic sense, that's going to theoretically, lower interest incomes
Yes.
in your personal
Yep.
investments, in governmental investments. I'd be inclined not to be overly optimistic. It's a long road without a turn here, and the feds will be meeting probably a couple times, I think, before the December in our final.
Yeah.
We can always increase that revenue, which subsequently decreases the levy.
Correct.
But again, erring on the side of caution.
So,
Feelings?
Good with that. Yeah, as long as Kathleen knows that as we kind of monitor what interest rates are doing, we have that option in December to drop it. Or to increase that, but drop the levy, right?
Right.
so when I come back next meeting, I'll probably bring in, just so you know, I'll be approximately probably a 5.27, accounting for the commissioner salaries down to a 3%. I will do that adjustment, just so you guys are aware, that will be my preliminary levy increase recommendation. And then we can look at these items further before December and make final decisions before we set final levy.
Once you have it all entered and you're ready for that preliminary, could you email out the line item, the
The
full budget?
percentage?
Yeah, well, I'd like to see the full budget.
Oh,
ahead of time.
yeah,
Yeah,
like all the line items for
Yep.
the budget, yep.
yep.
Administrator, Mr. Menke, comments, anything? I know, I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but I'm just giving you an opportunity to comment if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I could say that would be helpful right now.
Yeah,
On
understood.
any topic. I think it's interesting that $100,000 interest number is the exact number that the last budget meeting I was at added to the interest estimate. But much of the invested, or some of the invested funds are locked in for 2026. And so it should be, the treasurer should be able to make a reasonable estimate of what that number is, right? And take some of the guesswork out. And so I would just wait to see what, Kathleen comes back with next time.
Absolutely.
And normally we get a readout quarterly. I haven't seen one for a while from the treasurer's office. Line item, every investment, where it's at, when the maturity dates are, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe we can, between now and then, get a report to that effect.
Do you want it for the 23rd, the meeting on the 23rd?
I think, I don't see a big rush. We need this to more accurately forecast the final levy.
Okay.
I would say maybe even after the Federal Reserve meets again. Commissioners,
I'm good with
I agree.
Yep.
Lori?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I can ask Lori to get that prepared for you.
That'd be great.
I think I'm done.
And
you guys-
I didn't fall asleep.
And you didn't fall asleep.
Isn't that awesome?
Well, accounting is kind of boring for some people, but. Are there any further questions
you.
for me?
No, great job, Kathleen.
Okay.
Thank you.
You've got so much
And thank your staff.
historical financial data of Aitkin County. I mean, you're kind of.
I've been doing it a long time.
Yes, you have. And I think I mentioned, and I'll never forget
Get a
this,
short break.
the HHS negotiations you did that saved the county hundreds of thousands of dollars. I shared that with our new administrator.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that was a.
Can I get a copy of this also?
Anytime, let me know if you have any further questions. I'll let you know what the paid family medical leave is.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
I'll get
great.
out the full lined budget once I make the commissioner salary adjustment, so you guys can see what those line items
Okay.
look like.
Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Great job.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much,
M-
Kathleen.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
The
Commissioner.
feds meet on the 16th
Of September.
of September or the 17th. for their next, and then they'll do one more before, after that,
Right.
before the end of the year. 16th and 17th of
I think that'll
September.
give us a pretty fair barometer of what to expect. But there again, as David pointed out and Kathleen, some of those investments are already locked in. I don't know just what proportion are, but it would definitely have a bearing. Anything else on that nature? On to economic development. Mr. Mark Jeffers,
Thank you,
welcome, Mark.
Mr. Chair and Commissioners. I'm going to bring forward to you today a couple of different grant programs that the Economic Development Committee are recommending for execution in 2026. First, I thought that we should recap what the current grant status is. So I put together just a quick presentation for you on what that looks like. We can go to that program.
Which one are you wanting?
Yep, that very first one, please. And there should be a presentation under there. Yeah, there you go. So just a couple
IS capabilities also, thank you.
Yeah, he's up and running. Good stuff. If you take a look at to the second slide, the key points, I wanted to talk about three different things. First, the 4-year grant award recap, the 4 years, because that's how long I've been here. So I wanted to do it since the beginning of our grant cycles. And what we do for accountability when we do award grants, I want to cover that with you as well. And then a couple of the execution highlights from our grants that we've put out already. The next slide, if you take a look at the grants that we have received and or awarded, there's a child care acceleration grant. That funding was from DEED. We were awarded a grant ourselves. We used it as a pass-through to award grants to child care facilities. Child care facilities grant that the county conducted, that's $25,000 grant, and that was through ARPA funding. So that was funded through our fiscal recovery fund dollars through COVID. The community grant was another grant that again was through ARPA. We awarded 2 different organizations or businesses over $96,000 over the last 4 years on that community grant. The revitalization grant is also ARPA funding. That was another $71,000 that went out, and that was more revitalization or beautification grant, helping people update or upgrade their outer facilities, whether it be signs, whether it be painting of their business, to make the place look better, to raise those standards in our area. And then the business development and recreation grant is a smaller grant that is budgeted every year. It is in the budget for your approval this year. But that is a business development recreation. That goes more towards tourism, one-time events that bring in large amounts of people, things like that we cover. And you can see the total amount, we have awarded 85 grants for $315,000. So it's a substantial amount of dollars that have gone out to organizations and businesses. Again, whether it's through our COVID funding or whether it's through grants that we receive and use as a pass-through, we're helping the community through that. So if you take a look at the next slide, it's important when you're talking about a number that big that we have some accountability and we have some follow-through and we have some way of determining. And I just used a couple of examples here on the document that I use. Economic Development uses this and tracks this on whether or not the grant information, there's certain pieces of information that have to come back from an application. We get all of those things in, we track whether or not they're put into the system, whether or not we've paid out the grant, and then we go inspect what we expect and we take a look at, did they do what they were supposed to do? Can we close out that grant? And we do all that through official letters that come from the Economic Development Office. If there is a grant that concludes, they've completed all of their work, we have all the documentation, we send them a grant closure letter that they have in fact done all of that. And this is just a snippet of the 85 long that we track on a regular basis. Many of our grants, all of our grants have a time sunset date that's tracked in here. And we make sure some of them are just 12 months, some of them are 18 months, depending on the size of the grant or that type of thing. So
Yeah, Commissioner Sample?
So you got a sunset date on it.
Mhm.
Let's say I'm doing a project and I'm getting towards the end of my 12-month time limit. Can I get an extension? That's one.
well, it's possible if you have the right situation, it comes back through. I don't make that decision. I bring it back to the Economic Development Committee, and then the board would also
Okay.
be approving that, but it's possible.
And then my other thing is we do have, if I get money to improve my daycare, you know where I'm going with this.
Yes, sir.
And then I turn around and sell it and use that grant money to beautify my home childcare center. Then I turn around and sell it a year later. Do we get that part of that grant back? I mean, like if I got a $5,000 grant and I only have my daycare for a year, then do I get $4,000 back when you sell your place and go out of business?
We do have language in our grants now. Years ago, we did not, and we did a live and learn on that situation there. But we do now have protection on all of our grants that they have to remain in business for a period of 3 years. If it sells, then that grant has to be given back, that type of thing. So, yes, short answer is yes, we do now have that in.
And then when we recoup that money, it goes back into the fund to give them more grants, right?
Correct.
Thank
Correct.
you.
Yeah, there's an example, City of Aitkin, that we did award a community grant for 20,000. They did not use the funding for the project that they had allotted it for or we awarded it for. We did request that money to come back. We were paid back that money and it went back into the community grant award. So
Okay,
as an example, sure. And then, so this is all tracked and we review this, Economic Development Committee reviews this. We just talked about it at our last session when we were talking about these grants on how to make sure that we are inspecting what we expect and getting the most out of.
And securing our investment.
Absolutely. And then just a couple of shots of what it means to help those businesses out there. You look at the first pictures on the left side without the awning completed. Those signs that are in the window actually came directly from one of our grants. And then we help them, and all of our grants are matching grants, so they have to invest their own dollars. Many times they invest more dollars than we're awarding to take that jump, and that's the goal of the grants, is to give them that jump start. But the signage that was done and then the awning we helped with through our award, you can see the difference on the way that it looks in the street. And just, we'll swing through those if we could. On the next one, again, the difference in the outer look, right? It's raising the standard of the look of your area, creating that want for other businesses to be part of that.
Yeah.
If we stroll down into, this is in your McGregor area, we obviously did not pay for the entire remodel, but we helped that jump start to get.
Absolutely.
That jumpstart made them invest over $60,000. And now that place is packed. Every day you go by it.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Great
Yep.
things.
On a very much needed
Corner.
lodging and is much needed in our area, and yeah, it's a good success story for us.
Naturally better.
That's twice today. Twice he said that today. And this is our pass-through grant from deed through the childcare center. It's just a shot of the old schoolhouse, and then what they have been able to do to remodel the schoolhouse. It is a active childcare facility. They do have openings, by the way, which is really good.
Nice.
But they are about, the last time I checked, right around that 60% capacity, which
Yeah,
is
they're
a really
struggling a
good
little
number. It's
bit.
49 that they can have, so we're adding that in. We're doing anything with marketing to help those businesses get to understand they have openings. So if you need childcare in that Tamarack McGregor area, go see the Learning Center.
And I'll tell you this, that schoolhouse in Tamarack was falling down. It
That's
was
really
in bad
nice.
shape.
Yeah.
And I got a 90-year-old came up to me at the Tamarack Days. Like, I went to school there. I thought that thing would have caved in by now. And now it's a thriving business. And they are struggling a little bit with their capacity.
Yep, they've got
But-
to get full.
The child care opportunities are there for the working parents.
Can they apply to deed again to get another grant if they need,
If they needed to, yes.
I would-
Through us,
absolutely.
it would have to come through the county, and we do apply for the grants, the child care, economic development grants that are up. They will be out again
Good,
in the next
good.
couple of months, so
Yeah.
we'll do another one.
If I recall, this was a priority discussion during our long-term
Talent out there.
Yep.
plan.
Child care facilities.
And it's good to see this coming to fruition.
Yeah. And the future is bright in the Tamarack area at this point. and
Absolutely.
They're gonna need more and more of this in
They
that
need
area,
housing.
so it's good
Yeah,
to see.
sure, my mind, ARDC also invested in.
Yes, yep.
You know,
Yeah, we-
so
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
combined effort of a lot of organizations.
Yeah, and a large amount of private dollar investment from
Absolutely.
the ownership too. It's not just one, it's
It's
a
a,
big
yeah, it's a community
collaboration.
effort. Sure.
Yeah,
And I challenge every commissioner when you're going through Tamarack, stop and go through it. You'll see that they just didn't do the minimum. They did the maximum.
Class
That's really
act.
good. It is
Do it
absolutely
right the first time.
And I know I would be haunted if I didn't say this. My mother went to that school. Okay, Mom.
You're good.
Hey, Mark,
Excellent.
was that back in
That's
the
why
horse and buggy day?
It was.
Pretty much so.
That's why she was so eccentric.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had discussions, haven't we, Larry?
Yes, we have.
And look at those.
yeah, so, we've been successful at a couple of the different cities, putting
one of
the
them.
Naturally Better campaign onto their city signage. Those are permanent signage that goes on in Aitkin and Hill City.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Yeah, if I might add in on to this, thank you for including Hill City on this. As a reminder, when
one's over
when I
the
got
fairgrounds,
elected, the common
don't know.
phrase of my northern county was they were part of southern Itasca. Not only have they done this sign, you did the hydraulic sign, there's other store signs up there, nor storefronts that are thriving
They do
because
that
of that.
last.
And we do greatly appreciate the economic development up there, and they are acknowledging it, and that comment is fading away. They're starting to see what Aiken County is all about.
Yeah,
So
we're
thank you.
not quite at 50-50, but it's more 60-40 that is Aiken, 60, and the rest of them are getting
Right.
about
We'll get
40%
there.
of our grant awards. And as the information gets out and we want it to
Yeah.
be a 50-50 with our areas. And then the last one is just a picture of the terrace downtown in Aiken. When you talk about beautifying an area, bringing in economic development things that drive visitation, drive business. It was an empty grass field. Before that, it had a pink building on it with an old building there. And they turned it into that. We didn't do that alone, not taking credit for any of this. We helped jumpstart that by offering those some additional dollars, and they take the momentum and go. So,
And if anybody was in Aiken downtown this weekend, it was absolutely packed. And the terrace was one of the big drawing points.
Terrace?
Yes, with the music.
The terrace.
The terrace.
right there.
The terrace,
terrace.
not the terrorists.
ACE. And block north, from the stoplight, one
They
block
had the
north
brewery
was,
going on, didn't they?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tasting. Nice.
And there were hundreds and hundreds of people in town.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Mark, I just have a question.
Yeah,
How many Aitkin
that Mark.
sounds, that Mark, sorry. How many signs do we have of the Aitkin Naturally Better?
From the city signs, there's two, the city of Aiken and the city of Hill City. When McGregor redoes theirs, they're looking at that, and Tamarack also was going to do that as well.
Okay. So there's nothing down in Malmo?
We gotta get on it.
Got to get on it. We have dollars
Or
available through our grant to
Down
be
by
able to
Mille
help
Lacs
with
Lake
that.
on 169
Yeah.
would be perfect.
Yep,
That'd be
Yep.
really a good spot.
we do have grant dollars available to help.
Yeah, but nobody's,
Absolutely. We just gotta get the word out.
I have no cities in my area.
We can find a spot.
Commissioner Sample?
So why not
We have
put it,
townships, but
why not put it on the county line signs?
they're tight
Sure,
ones.
absolutely.
On what?
The county line, welcome to Aiken County.
Naturally better.
Why not put it on there?
Said
Go
it
to
3 times.
Hazelton.
That is a great
I didn't
idea.
say that, he did.
I know, he almost said it 3 times.
Say it again. I
Say,
wasn't
what was that?
listening.
Yeah.
I said, why not put your sign with the Aiken County? You got 210, 169, 47.
Sure.
Yep.
You can put it right at the county line where we have our signs.
There's no
Yeah.
place to
But
put
like
it on
for, like
47.
Lori's
Oh,
area
it.
and Travis's area where they don't have the big towns.
Right.
We don't have any towns.
Yeah.
It's a good thought.
I think coming in on the highways, you'd probably have to get the state's permission to put that on their
And
county
47,
signs.
you won't get permission, but 169 you would.
That sounds like a challenge.
It
Yeah,
does sound like a
47,
challenge, doesn't
forget
it?
that noise.
Consider it a project that we'll,
Exactly.
we'll move forward with, but.
You know, along that line, I've had comments made to me and I subsequently looked it up. There's a lot of things about Aiken on YouTube lately.
Yes, there is.
I presume that they're
Supposed to be the redneck.
drone pictures. Are you responsible for that?
More the Chamber of
Okay.
Aiken is really getting aggressive. They work with a company that has a drone and does a lot of drone photos from things that go on in the area. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is extremely good exposure.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you for that. I wanted to just present that to you and then come at you with a few asks
Sure
as
you
well.
What?
this up.
You can't ask.
The first one that we want to talk about is the 2026 Business Development and Recreation Grant. Again, this is a grant that is used for recreation, tourism, quick, one-hit driving event type things. Every year, we make improvements, as an Economic Development Committee, we make improvements to the grant. Last year, we inserted language that you can't be a repeat awardee. So the ones that were awarded last year will not be eligible in the next year, so we can continue to spread those dollars out to others. But what you have in front of you is the document of the guidelines, the application. And, you know, I've gone through this with the Economic Development Committee. They recommend that we approve the program for 2026. So that's the ask, is that we request a motion to approve execution of the Business Development and Recreation Grant Program.
Commissioners, you've heard the request. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner Sample, support.
Second.
Motion is supported by Commissioner Westerland. Comments, discussion?
Question.
Commissioner Leviska?
What is the starting balance gonna be on that? For-
It'll be, right now we have, I think just over 30 that we used from ARPA, but we budget an additional 10 every year, so we
Okay,
start with
that's-
that
I just
10.
wanted to confirm, thank you.
Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion's carried.
Easy peasy.
And the 5C on your list, again, same conversation. We do have fiscal recovery fund dollars that were set aside for future economic development projects. Very successful revitalization grant the last time. We want to offer that again as a beautification grant or revitalization grant to small businesses.
This is a small business one.
Yep, this is the small business one for upgrading their facilities, things like that. There is the language that we talked about, that they have to remain in business in order to fully receive the grant. And this one, we're looking at $5,000 increments, and they are one-to-one matches on.
What are we
on all of
sitting on for a balance there?
We are gonna offer 50,000 to this business. We have over 150,000 that's still left in the ARPA funding. I have the sheet in there. I just can't get it off the top of my head. We have other dollars available too. So,
He
I
has
see
a lot of
agreements.
moving money.
Gotta
Keeps
keep
you
us
busy.
guessing.
that didn't
Yeah.
sound good at all, but
No, it doesn't.
we ain't moving money.
Do you work for the state? Sorry,
We were
the DNR?
fortunate enough to be able to set aside some of those fiscal recovery fund dollars to go towards economic development projects. We also are applying on regular basis for any grant activation that we can do, whether it's deed or anything like that. So we continue that, but I didn't mention on the last one, but I'll mention on this one. County attorney has reviewed all of these documents, find them appropriate and
As
is good
noted.
to go. And the Economic Development Committee recommends approval to execute this in 2026.
Commissioners, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion,
We have
Chair.
a motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner Carney.
Support.
That motion is supported by Commissioner LaVisca. Any further questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. The motion prevails.
Mr. Chair, just want to note on this one, this is coming out of funds, like Mark said, ARPA funds, but they're reserved, so they're not necessarily
How they
in
levy.
the 2026 budget, because there are already funds that have been
Right.
reserved for economic development.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
That's the language you're looking for right there. Last one, and this is for housing development and redevelopment. These are program incentives that the Economic Development Committee has been working to, working through our Housing Trust Fund. We have from the local statewide housing act, we have received 194,000 is the number that we have in our Housing Trust Fund. If you remember, about 4 months ago, you approved a revolving loan portion of a housing trust fund for builders, developers to be able to take advantage of those dollars. These documents focus on soft cost incentive for builders to start to create their development of their 40-acre lot, for example. And, you know, whether it's surveying costs or engineering costs, if they come to us through our housing trust fund, we can offer different funding for those things to help them lower the cost of building, again, get that jump start. This is not budgeted dollars that are needed. This is something that we have received as an award or a grant from the state, so.
We've set up a separate fund for these dollars in our general ledger system, so they're updated separately. They're not part of the general fund or any other fund. They're their own area where these funds are kept.
Thank you.
So one of the things that we have been working on, Commissioner Sample mentioned it right in the beginning, some of the things with planning and zoning, they are welcoming me into every conversation when a new business or a new prospect comes in, wants to talk about their land for development. They welcome me into those meetings from the start, so we can make sure that all of our residents or people that want to build on their properties know all of the incentives that's available. I don't want to
Awesome.
ask the planning and zoning to memorize every document we have, just let me go talk to the people and we'll do that. So, working very well together with that. We had a couple of meetings already since we put that in, where folks are coming in and wanting to, I've got this development, I want to put a campground here, how do I get there? And it's been some really positive conversations that go on. We want to make sure that everyone knows that we have the opportunity available to help them through that process and lower their costs as they go. So we are asking, again, Economic Development Committee have reviewed these files in detail over a couple of different meetings. The county attorney finds these appropriate. And we don't have a number on these. I want to make that important, that we're not really sure at this point what a developer, what a builder might need, right? We don't want to spend all of our dollars that we've received on one project and call it good. We want to see if we can't spread this out to create and stimulate some good, solid development of single-family housing units, things like that. So even if it's $2,000 for an engineering service or $10,000 for a survey, we'll take all applications in. The applications work exactly like the grants. They go through the Economic Development Committee, and the committee will recommend to the board approval on certain ones. So this next step is to get this message out there to all of our cities and all of our townships that know the people that have the development areas that might want to develop. So that's where this needs to go after your approval. And we are requesting approval to move forward with both of these. One is a development grant for new development, and there is also a piece in there for redevelopment and blighted properties, things like that. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of things come in from it.
And either way, it increases property tax revenue to the
right.
county,
That's it.
which dilutes everybody's tax liabilities.
About the money.
And one of our biggest problems in this county right now is housing. Our school districts are losing, not being able to hire new teachers because they got no place to live, you know?
Yeah, there's a housing shortage, and, you know, the builders have to build, and they have to be aggressive to go out and build, and we'll help them any way that we can possibly help them. But they've got to make the first step and decide to take that piece of property and turn it into a development. We've got a lot of examples of that happening, so.
We just gotta be receptive and work with them, not against them.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I know it's been brought up before. Has there been any further discussion on townhomes, condo concepts, fourplexes?
Yes, we have one over in McGregor that's looking at doing that right now. That was a surveyor, and
Yeah, that's actively working with our planning and zoning department right now.
It's so much more cost-effective, more profitable for the developer, more affordable for the purchaser.
Fits right into our demographic needs, so.
It does.
and I'm getting educated after the last economic development, when we talked about, all we hear from the housing is that they're here for low income. That's not their purpose. They have two foals, a two mission, and I'm gonna get educated on it
Yes, you are.
because I think that
You're the education kind.
education, Jeff Robodine got all the education in my house, but
Oh, I love him.
there is a way that we can use them
Absolutely.
and get some of our land off the tax rolls through these guys to get it for our working people. But I'm just saying, it's a work in progress, but that's why it's so important that we have this program that Mark's talking about to encourage development and help development in this county.
And just an FYI, NARO is the acronym for the HRA Association, basically.
Yep.
Commissioners, any further comments, request? Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
May I have a motion on the floor to set effect by Commissioner LaVisca? That motion
Second.
is supported by Commissioner Sample. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I think
I'll
just
put on your administrative hat.
my administrator, welcome to the first meeting. Wonderful job. This is not your first meeting ever. We know that, but happy to have David aboard. We did spend some time yesterday as the IAT team, the interim team. Sat down with David for some time yesterday to go over all of the things that have been happening, and Kathleen and John and Bobby were along on that as well. So working through some of those details of items that, as you know, through the updates we put in the parking lot. We handed the parking lot over yesterday, so we can move forward on those things. But good conversation. We offered, as a team, we'd be there as long as David needs us in there, to just discuss things that happen, so appreciate that. What? I'm going on vacation. No.
Well, along that note, on behalf of the board, just
Thanks to your team.
big comment of gratitude, Mark, Kathleen, John, Bobby, for
Absolutely.
really stepping up to the plate in addition to doing your own jobs.
Yeah.
But stepping up to the plate to be on this interim management team that worked extremely successful. You kept things going, you kept things adhesive.
Appreciate
So,
that.
thank you very much.
And just two items, reminder, those of you that are going to the fall conference, that is starting tomorrow, so
Correct.
if you don't have plans to go already, you should get your plans.
Is that where you're vacationing?
I'm going down there to
See?
vacation. It's Arrowwood.
And it's also a write-off.
Yeah.
It's right off.
And I've been speaking on this subject for probably a couple of months now, but I am excited to say that it is happening tomorrow. The groundbreaking for the apartment complex will be at noon tomorrow, over on Bunker Hills. I know that Commissioner LaVisca had said that there's a possibility you might be there. Just let me know.
Yeah,
I
I'll be
did let
heading to
them know.
Alexandria early Thursday instead of tomorrow, so I might make
Okay,
it.
then you can go too. All right, great.
Yeah,
At
I
least
gotta-
we'll have representation.
I gotta be in Alex
We will
at
have
3,
representation.
so-
Yeah, I will be there for sure. And then Commissioner LaVisca, it sounds like, and yeah, long time coming. It sounds like the groundbreaking ceremony will be followed up by concrete pouring within the next couple of days. So they're gonna get started as
Good.
they indicated. All of the USDA grant information and the Minnesota Housing Finance loans that were done have been completed, and it's just moving forward now. So I'll
Progress.
keep you updated on the building going up.
Is this the 45 or the 55 unit?
This is the 44 unit workforce housing
44.
first, yep. And then they will immediately start across the street on the 55 plus once that's completed.
Good.
And
I
that's,
get a lot of calls about it.
Yeah, I do
Is
too.
it coming really?
Well,
We're on a list.
I had heard that there's already a list almost half
There's a
filling the
list.
55
Fill it
plus.
up
Yeah.
there is currently a list of reserve,
for the workforce
Is there on the
too.
workforce as well? Already a list? Good.
yeah, yep.
A lot of
Correct.
55ers and older are going there first.
And Commissioner, those are the updates for
Okay,
today.
thank you. David,
Appreciate your time.
administratively, anything you'd like to chime in on or add?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just echo what you already know, that you have an excellent leadership team here. They carried you during the interim, and I'm excited to work with them, and have had nothing but positive relations and great help and assistance already. And then I would just put out to all of you commissioners, as I do on board and try to learn how things are done here and what needs to be done and what your priorities are. Feel free to reach out to me if you think I should go somewhere, meet somebody, attend something. I'm happy to do that, but I'm gonna look for some of your assistance to figure out what those priorities should be. So just help me on board as well.
Awesome. Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes, Commissioner?
I'd like to extend an invitation for you to come out and spend a day with me in my district.
Absolutely.
And that way I can set up meetings with my mayors and a lot of my township supervisors to introduce you to them. And you can hear some of their concerns. So I'll talk to you offline about when we can get that on the schedule.
Perfect, thank you.
I would be remiss if I didn't add another department. Our IT department, Chris,
Yes, thank you.
who has
Yes,
really
Chris.
stepped up to the plate here in terms of organizing, running, the meetings, the technical aspects of the meeting, not to mention everything you've done in this HHS renovation project, setting up in the 2 remote locations. So just a very honorable thank you to you and your staff.
Thank you, commissioners. That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
And we need you.
On to Commissioner Committee updates. I think we're due for clockwise today, so we'll start with Commissioner Carney.
Awesome. I'll start out with HRA. Hey, guys, April, thank you for printing these out. I had a meeting with her yesterday.
Oh, good.
A great meeting, and that's why I got all these documents and printed out for each one of the board members. She's gonna be calling you and trying to set up an
Yep.
appointment with you to
I've
talk
talked
to you.
She has, we've been going back and forth.
Okay, great. A great meeting with her. As Commissioner Samples said, she wants to come and address the board. She does not, I repeat, does not want any money. She's not coming, she wants a
Information.
partnership. She wants a partnership with the county. And this partnership also includes, as what Commissioner Sample alluded to, is they have a throughway to get blighted properties, turn those properties into housing, and can get the funds because they also have a nonprofit entity within HRA. So funding can come down. I'm really excited about this. And I let her know that the board would be excited too if you come here and you're not asking for money, but you're providing a solution. So I'm super excited. Please take a read of this. It gives you the information, background history of HRA. Additionally, I was at the National Night Out in Hill City. What a great turnout. They must have had over 100, 150 people. Great cookout, great food, great conversation. And once again, seeing participation from the county, they're receiving that and they're acknowledging that. So that's a good thing. Last night, we had the NRAC meeting. Everything looks good on the front of the campgrounds. They all are looking like they're going to surpass the
Which
revenues.
meeting did- Oh,
Um,
the,
The revenues for
Was it
the
Parks
campgrounds.
meeting?
The Parks meeting,
I
yes.
don't know what the.
NRAC, I'm
acronym is.
sorry, Natural Resource Advisory Committee.
Thank you.
Yep, at Long Lake.
Nobody's ever called that.
All right, sorry. They're looking at doing a white oak planting project. They put in for funding for that, which is great, the replanting of our hardwoods. Excited about that. They also talked about the ATV trails. They're still working through the process. They hope to begin construction in late fall.
They hope to have enough money.
Exactly. They're promising me they have enough money to do this. I'll just let you have it, yeah. They have upcoming events at, they have the walleye fish fry and the forest birding on September the 13th, 4 to 7. The cost is $40 per person. And then they also have the Star Palooza that they have every year, the same night. And I'm heading out today. I have a 10 o'clock district directors meeting. You have a 3 o'clock tomorrow, right? I have a 10 o'clock for
Okay.
legislative conference. So other than that, sir, most of my AOA, RDC, all of that is the fall next week.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Sample?
I was not able to attend the meeting last night. I was in Fargo on the North Dakota Today show, talking about veterans issues. I think we'd be remiss if we did not bring up that on the 22nd of September, we have a Hill City resident that went MIA in August of 1950. His remains are being flown out of Hawaii today to the funeral home. I'm not sure which one. And they'll be presented to the family. And I think we need to take a minute and think about this. In 1950, 75 years ago, a young man disappeared. In the last 5 years, how many Vietnam vets have you heard are retired or returned their remains, let alone a Korean War vet? This is a big thing. This is an important thing. And this is a thing we need to recognize. This man's family's gone, his brothers, his sister, his parents. They went to their graves not knowing where their brother was. Now his nieces and nephews will get the closure for the family, and we will. as a country. I think it's important that we remember that. Moving on, Wild Rice Days in McGregor was well attended. It was really tremendous. I seen the vendors were up, the people were up, and it's kind of cool because they've been down. They've been on the downside for the last 4 or 5 years. And the airport, we have to move the weather station, and Senator Farnsworth got them $150,000 in grant money, but it looks like they're gonna fall about $80,000 short. But we got 4 years to get that moved. So hopefully we'll come up with that money. And that was part of the reason why they requested the 10% increase. And a few years ago, we took $60,000 because they never used it out of their funds. Maybe we ought to look if we got money to give it back to them.
That's something we can entertain.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just putting it on everybody's radar.
In addition to that, speaking of the McGregor Airport, it's been heavily utilized by North Air Care and by LifeLink helicopter services.
Yes. And then my other thing is, I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you commissioners and the new administrator on the 20th of September. Forgotten Heroes has their come compete against the elected officials. We have 15 confirmed, and it sounds like we're gonna get about 22, 23. Congressman Stauber has confirmed he'll be there. So if you guys wanna put that on your radar, it's from noon till 6. On October 11th, they're having their Kids Day out there. And October 12th, they're having the Handicap Day out there.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's all I got.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner LaVisca?
I just had the library board yesterday, just kind of went over all the counties had come back with accepting the proposals from, East Central, and I know that I had discussed that we were cutting some funding, which would lead to cutting of hours, so the discussion, are we gonna buy more hours back? That's kind of where we'd have to go from there, but I think, given them direction, I said that we were sitting on the number that we were given right now for the request, so, we can always go from there.
Did you get a call?
Regarding,
The library hours in McGregor?
I haven't, no,
You will be.
okay, yeah,
Is it Penny? Is she still there? Penny?
No, it's not Penny.
Oh, it's not Penny.
yeah, I give him my number.
I already did.
Perfect. That was all I had for this week. My meetings are between the next two meetings, so.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Westerland?
So I had Northern Counties Coalition. They're changing the name and club to that. We had kind of an MIA ourselves. Barb Caskey, our secretary, nobody has been able to get a hold of her. We finally did. John Ongaro was there. He kind of took over the meeting for the day. So we didn't have any financials yet. We are still looking at the PILT, and we want to keep it fresh in the legislative's mind this year about the Lakeshore PILT and how it's not being taken care of. We all know we got 30% cut. We got a 30% increase last year, but now we got, or this year, but now next year it'll be a 30% cut. Can't quite figure that one out. So we talked about wetland replacement and some of the new issues that are coming up. There'll be more information in December, maybe. Also, Annie Marcotte said that the 8th district, she used to be a commissioner here, Annie Marcotte. The 8th District Court has made a determination about deer farms. And maybe David would have, if you get time to look into that. I'm lost on that end. Anyway, but we're kind of wondering if they're working towards other farms too. you know, elk farms, fish farms. I'm not sure what they're,
Can you
what the
expand on that
direction is.
little deer farms?
That's all we talked about because we were running so late that day, cause Paul, from St. Louis County was there.
Oh.
And we had a big discussion on some land stuff. So I'm not really sure where Annie's thoughts were. They didn't really, Neil, our, chairperson, talked to her on the phone, so, maybe I can call her too and maybe get a little more information. We did talk about if Walls probably wasn't running, maybe Klobuchar might step up. If she stepped up, then Flanagan wouldn't be there. She probably wouldn't run if Klobuchar was thinking of running for governor. These guys have a lot of good, connections. Gary Gamble from Lake County, we're working on a new branding, for northern counties. We kind of went with a tree, northern counties, you know, green and blue as usual, trees and water. It was really a good, meeting. We did talk about the federal land and school trust stuff that's coming down the pike. We're not really sure what's going on. People hear things and it's like, oh my gosh. Different permits, MPCA, EPA. It's just a mess on the development of the metals, the metal, whatever it is, the metal permits that they're putting on steel, American Steel, what's the other one? NTBS or something? Yeah, NTBS permit. I'm not sure. I'm just one of 3 gals in that group, and we're just like, what? So that, I had that, and then also, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about public health. We had our meeting, and we did talk about kind of the bad rap public health got after COVID because of all the bad policies made and some of the people involved, and we're really trying to amp up some of our responsibilities, and just trying to get it out there that public health really is about your health and about your safety and your kids and your elderly. We're in every asset of Health and Human Services, MnDOT. We're all over the place. So, if you have any questions, you know, we're just trying to work on the prevention piece, and now we got flu stuff and COVID, you know, COVID shots, or people are not taking them, and just remember, it's costing our country a lot of money to make these vaccines. And if they're not working, what was the point? So hopefully somebody's in charge, getting better in charge anyway. So I sit on public safety for AMC, and we have an MRC meeting, so that'll be interesting. Minnesota Rural Counties. Are you guys a part of that? Or was Pine County on that? No. Okay,
I am now,
yeah.
for Aitkin County.
Yeah, it's really, you know, the new people we have, the Capital Associates, they work so well with AMC, and it's really a good group. So anyway, that's, I think, all I got. Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you, Laurie. Lots of meetings, budget, personnel, economic development, all of which were addressed previously in the course of this meeting. I did attend an AMC virtual meeting the other day. I don't know if I didn't, I think
was that
Jessica
for?
was on there,
Yeah.
Jessica Seibert. Basically, it had to do with AMC's proposed legislative actions. Informational only, but again, very good information. Aside from that, Aitkin Municipal Airport Commission met. Things are going pretty good. We're looking at putting in a new terminal building. We did subscribe, put in for a congressional directed spending grant, which was unfortunately denied. But Bolton and Mank, our engineers, are working with the FAA. They have a special program that we may qualify for that would provide significant funding for the new terminal building, which will be relocated from its present location, we call it the Pilot's Lounge, much closer to the fuel facility, if you're familiar with the airport out there. So it's kind of a wait and see. We've dotted all the i's, crossed all the t's, and keeping our fingers crossed. The FAA would provide a significant portion. MnDOT Aeronautics would kick in a fair amount, and our local match would be manageable. So, sit back, wait and see what happens.
No, that's a federal airport, right?
FAA, yes,
Yes, and then McGregor State.
that's right,
Okay.
yeah. And then the fly-in breakfast was this weekend. The weather it started out a little bit iffy, early in the morning, but it just, the skies cleared, the waters parted, and we had an excellent turnout.
Runway.
Mark
Mark
parted
stood
the
out
seas.
there and parted
Yes.
the seas.
With his staff.
Yeah,
I can just.
yeah, old Moses helped us out there. But a really good turnout. In terms of aircraft, there was a Lifelink came in, and there was a push-pull Navy airplane in there. Maybe you've flown or ridden in those, Michael?
Yes.
It was a good success.
Push
That's
pull,
probably
that
jumped
does
out of
not,
him.
yeah, push pull, that doesn't
I rode
even
it and he
sound
jumped
good
out of it.
for an airplane.
Great taxi cabs.
So things are moving along there. One thing I think is worthy of noting, you probably read in the paper, and I'm not talking out of school, Anderson Brothers Construction.
Yes.
You're familiar.
Yep.
Anderson Brothers, based out of Brainerd, employ a lot of Aitkin County residents, a lot of area residents. And I've been in touch with John Welly on this. But FYI, the Minnesota Department of Transportation wanted to put a moratorium, and it had to do with the mixture of tar, of asphalt, and everything was up to speed, but MnDOT had an issue with it. They were going to fine them 1 point whatever million. And again, it was just a technicality. And again, this was all in the paper, that they just went for without prejudice, without passion, settlement will pay the fine. No admission, just let's get beyond this.
Who did that? MnDOT?
MnDOT
Against Anderson Brothers?
against Anderson Brothers,
Wow, what does MnDOT
that
know
you
about tar?
cannot bid
Nothing.
on any governmental jobs.
Just give them a
Obviously,
stop sign.
that is a big portion of their portfolio. So that was said and done. Now, the federal MnDOT, or Federal Department of Transportation comes in with a similar allegation. And in the first one, the National Department of Transportation, regional office in Minneapolis signed off and agreed that we'll go with this settlement. Unbeknownst to them even, Washington steps in and are saying the same thing. You can't bid as a contractor or subcontractor on any governmental jobs. Now, this is bureaucratic.
Get on that, Brett.
I'm already on it. But
That's terrible.
Anderson Brothers said they wanna defend this in court
They are.
before they bring in congressional
Yes,
help.
Sure,
But
sure.
there are people in the congressional level already looking at that.
and I hope they're loading up. But they have hired a pretty highfalutin legal team out of Washington DC.
Good people have retired.
But I wanted to just put you on notice to that, if you'd not heard, that depending upon what
formula in the
happens, if there's a
top-
way county boards can step in light of the positive economic impact that they have,
Yep.
not to mention what they're paying in license for their vehicles, property tax, sales tax, the employment of local people, et cetera, et cetera. FYI,
Mr. Chair, if I may ask, our county engineer says that they do a great job.
yes,
Will it help if this board sent them a letter of support?
well, and that's exactly where I was going at. Do we get this head on from a, for lack of a better term, a politically governmental aspect? But in light of the fact that there's litigation going on, I think it would be wise to stay out of it at this point,
Yeah.
knowing that they do have our moral support.
That it's-
If and when that comes, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
John Riley, the top engineer, he would definitely write a letter, I'm sure.
You
So
bet.
Mark, was the formula for the tar, was it too little, too light?
Too late.
Too light with what?
That's what the accusation.
Oil
is.
or gravel or?
And thank you,
That's
it
what
was
the accusation-
accusational. in
Oh.
nature.
There's nothing proved because they're coming back showing their statistics and their mixture rates were on target.
And
But
they-
there's a disagreement between the Minnesota Department
Yeah.
of Transportation.
Who signed off on it along with the regional US Department of
Linda.
Transportation,
It's their formula.
Yeah.
a
It's
mixture.
the aggregate formula.
Changed.
Do we know what road or where it was at or what
No, we'll have
they
to.
just tested on their
I
trucks?
believe it was at the Brainerd Airport. I might be wrong.
So was it in the Brainerd paper?
Yes,
Okay.
and I have no idea where it was. I guess it's insignificant at this point.
Yeah, but
But the subsequent action of that is what we have to be concerned with.
Yep.
But this may be an opportunity for local government to step up to the plate and help those businesses who are employing people and paying a lot of taxes, both in outright tax and fees.
to the state.
And doing quality work.
Exactly.
Before we adjourn, I want to go back to Commissioner Sample, the ceremony on the 22nd. Are we going to have more than 3 commissioners there? Is anybody else planning? Brett and I are definitely going, but if there's other commissioners, I mean, there's going to be legislators there. It's going to be a big thing, and
On the 22nd?
on the 22nd, that's a Monday. If there is going to be more than 3, we need to get a notice out in advance.
I'd notice it just in case. I'd like to be there if I can.
Administrator, you think? Okay.
So, and what about, isn't there a,
I didn't know if there's a rule for funerals or anything like that or not. I don't know.
I don't,
Well, I think if we know ahead of time, it's good to, I mean, it's always possible we could show up randomly to the same place as long as we're not
We're-
conducting, but if we can notice it, we should.
were we all invited to the shoreland ordinance from P and Z, planning and zoning? On the 22nd also at 4?
Yeah, there is that one also, but they're making the notification for that.
Okay,
So I
because
don't know
I'll
who
go
all's
to that.
coming. I'm hoping all the commissioners come
Yeah.
to that because they want the involvement from the commissioners in
Right.
this planning committee. From
Well-
planning commission.
And
Did you
Should
get an
have.
invite?
Yeah, I don't know.
You should have, or if you haven't, you will. I'll be going downstairs today, make sure the invites are out, and of course.
So when and where is the funeral, McGregor?
Nope, it's going to be, it's going
Oh,
to
Hill
be
City.
at Mackville Cemetery.
Oh,
You know where the Mackville Cemetery is?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
right there across from 40. or
what
the
time?
Corner Club, at 1 PM.
Okay.
And there'll be a follow-on reception at another location to be determined. We haven't got all that
Okay.
information yet. I'm
Probably
working hand in hand
Community
with the
center or
mayor,
something.
you know, and then I've also asked the commanders from the VFW's Allegiance to get with each other from Aitkin, McGregor, Palisade,
Wherever.
all of them in Hill City, all to combine together in a working force to show up there.
Okay.
Commissioner Sample, you told me you're gonna try to get a hold of,
I'm calling Fort Snelling
Okay.
today to get a active duty color guard there, if possible.
Oh, that's cool.
And when I was out in Fargo yesterday. I talked to the head of the POW MIA balloon
Oh,
to be there
That'd be nice.
at the celebration of life.
I should have been in the military.
So, and we're taking this out,
You are
this is not a county thing, this is a state.
Yeah, it
I mean, this
is,
is.
but
this
it's
is a
cool.
national- This is a big
This is
issue.
cool.
Yeah, so, yeah, participation would be greatly appreciated.
And
Thank you, Chair.
you bet. And if perchance you have a quorum of commissioners by unbeknownst to yourselves, the rule of thumb is just don't talk about county business,
Just
talk
wave.
about-
county
Oh,
business,
yeah, sure.
if there's a quorum present.
I don't worry about that.
Along that line, is it called the Guardians, the motorcycle group?
The Guardians, the Vietnam Vet Legacy Vet Motorcycle Club, the Patriot Guard,
Patriot Guard.
and a few other organizations.
Great. I know we've at the
Big
funeral
enough out
home
there?
used the Patriot Guard.
Absolutely.
And just a dedicated organization.
And the other thing is, we have a 93-year-old Korean War vet over at Akota that's a true hero, Bronze Star winner, Purple Heart recipient 3 times from the Korean War. I am going, after I leave here today, to take him over there
Cool.
on the 22nd.
Any further business? David, anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And again, welcome. With that, Chair
Motion to
would,
adjourn?
motion on the floor to adjourn. Commissioner Westerland?
Support.
That motion is supported by Commissioner LaVisca. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion's carried.
Oh.
Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
You had one name.